trailing after the willowy redhead running after his dog. "Dana, don't chase him. He thinks you want to play." If he wasn't concerned about Miller getting lost in the woods because some crazy woman wouldn't listen, Finn might take the time to figure out what it said about Dana Templeton that she was gardening in a pink shirt and a pair of khaki slacks stuffed into beige rubber boots decorated with pink flowers. He thought it was seriously weird that someone coordinated their wardrobe to dig in the dirt. She whipped around, the pink floppy hat falling off her head. If he didn't know better, it appeared her shoulder-length red hair was about to do the same. "You don't understand. He has my gardening gloves." "Good God, woman, I'll buy you another pair. Just stop running after him." He blew out an annoyed breath when she ignored him and continued to sprint down the path. He didn't know what ticked him off more, that she wouldn't listen to him or that he now had to chase after her and his dog. "It's okay. Don't strain your leg, Finn. I'll go," his sister-in-law offered. He didn't think anything could have ticked him off more than Dana and his inability to run like he used to, but his sister-in-law had just proved him wrong. He started after Dana. "Thanks, but I've got this. I'm not an invalid, you know," he said to Sophie. Then, realizing he was being hypersensitive, he added over his shoulder, "My overprotective baby brother would have my head if he knew I let you run a 5-mile marathon when you're pregnant and not feeling well. Go home and put your feet up. Have a nap." Sophie called after him, sounding a little sheepish. "It was just an excuse. I'm feeling fine. I didn't want Kitty and Tina to know we're having an early Mother's Day celebration with Rosa today." Their grandmothers had a long-standing feud. He didn't know what it was about, or if they'd just taken up where their de Rossi and Gallagher ancestors had left off. According to local folklore, the original feud had started sometime in the 1700s. Apparently, his grandmother had started this one by insisting that Sophie's mother, Tina, stay at the manor, a move that was guaranteed to tick off Rosa, who wasn't exactly her former daughter-in-law's #1 fan. "I've got your back, but you might want to—" He lifted his chin at the dark-haired woman crouched on the path picking up the flower pots that Miller had bowled over. Because he wasn't paying attention, Finn's foot landed awkwardly on the uneven woodland trail. His pain grimace turned into an eye roll when he heard Miller's playful bark and Dana's panicked cries for his dog to stop before he dies. Talk about a drama queen. Then again, maybe it was a reaction to whatever drug she was on. She might be delusional, but she was also fast. He was running full out. He shook his head at his assessment. His full out was equivalent to someone jogging. Finn ignored the voice in his head that said he had to accept his limitations, that he was lucky to have survived the rebels' attack. The voice sounded a lot like his old man's. Finn grimaced, and this time it wasn't due to the twisting pain in his leg. It was because Sophie was right. The family wouldn't be happy about him leaving. Grams, never one to let the grass grow under her feet, as his grandmother Colleen used to say, had already come up with what she seemed to believe was a winning strategy. First, she and her fellow members of the Widows' Club had decided he should take over for Doc Bishop, the local family physician, who was retiring next week. Not that it was going to happen, because the last thing Finn wanted was to move back home and have his every move dissected, discussed, and evaluated. He loved his family, but really, what 34-year-old guy would subject himself to 24/7 surveillance and interference? Grams had proven him right when she suggested Dana would make a wonderful wife. Wife? He barely knew the woman. But he'd seen and heard enough to know that she wasn't his type, even when she wasn't wasted. Up ahead, he caught a glimpse of pink through the trees. They were closing in on the footbridge that arched over the tide pools. The bridge connected the estate to the windswept spit of land his oldest brother Griff, a former Navy SEAL, had recently purchased. Griff and his wife, Sophie's cousin, were renovating the lighthouse. They'd be back in a few days from their honeymoon, and he'd break the news he was leaving the next day. He'd put off telling his family, mostly because he hated goodbyes, and it was tough to hold his ground in the face of their sorrow. He hoped none of them cried. Tears got to him every time. There was a part of him that wanted to sneak off in the middle of the night without saying goodbye. "Miller, stop this instant!"